Hello again. I talked about prayer last time and watching Enos and Christ pray. And this time I talked a little bit about how they prayed and what they prayed about and what you can do in your personal prayers. You know, Enos, he prayed all night. He was praying about Christ. He was praying about his soul. He'd remembered the words of his father who talked about Christ. And he could see a lot of his weaknesses and sins, and so he talked to the Lord about that throughout the night. And then, the voice came, told him that his sins were forgiven, and he said, "I knew that God can't lie, so I knew I was forgiven." And Christ, he prayed all the time. He would go in the mountains. He would go in his house, in the house where he lived, and when he was alone, and he'd pray. But most of the time, he had to go away from people because there were too many people around. He could never be private. So he would go off on his own. It doesn't talk much about it in the scriptures. You hear about it in the Book of Mormon when it says he walked away and prayed, and what he prayed was so great they couldn't write. But he would pray just like you and I do. He would pray for the people around him. He'd pray for his ability to talk to them properly, and because he needed the Holy Ghost with him as well. And now what do you do in your prayers? In your private prayers, you can just talk like I'm talking to you. This is how I pray when I pray for the 5 minutes or 10 seconds or 10 hours. I just discuss things with the Lord, and I have a notebook, and I'll write notes down that I have. You don't need your eyes shut all the time when you pray. You can pray driving around. You can pray walking around. But when you can be alone and pray out loud, and you can talk to your Father in heaven as your best friend, as your father or mother, just discuss things that you're doing and discuss what you need help in, and how can you help other people, and how can you help other people see Christ. And another thing my dad always told me was, it's more important to thank him than it is to ask. So make sure in prayers you say thank you a lot, because saying thank you sometimes is all you need to do, and he'll still give you blessings. So keep saying your prayers.